Presented by Listen Headlines, latest world news from trusted sources. Updating daily at 6 a.m. New York time.
April 1st, 5:04 America, New York. A Mariupol theater survivor describes attack that buried her daughter in rubble and killed up to 300 people. Victoria Dubovitsky only took shelter at the Donetsk Regional Drama Theater in Mariupol because her daughter Anastasia got sick. After weeks of siege, bombing, and shelling by Russian troops, the southeast Ukrainian city had no electricity.
New York Times World News.
April 1st, 5:02 America, New York. As gas prices soar, Biden's climate ambitions sputter. Rising costs at the pump, war in Ukraine, and emboldened fossil fuel industry and stalled legislation have imperiled President Biden's climate agenda. President Biden's aides acknowledge that the legislative centerpiece of his climate agenda is unlikely to become law, and other pieces of his agenda may fall in the Supreme Court.
New York Times World News.
April 1st, 5:00 America, New York. Ukrainian Olympian does his part against Russian invasion. Vladislav Hariskovich, a skeleton competitor from Ukraine, gathers supplies and uses the team van to deliver them to Kyiv as he waits to be called for military duty. Vladislav Hariskovich, a skeleton Olympian from Ukraine, on a supply run in Kyiv. Washington Post World.
April 1st, 4:56 America, New York. Refugee drama to dominate Pope's weekend trip to Malta. Pope Francis heads to Malta this weekend, with the refugee exodus from Ukraine casting a haunting backdrop to the trip.
BBC News World. April 1st, 4:22 America, New York. War in Ukraine. Russia accuses Ukraine of attacking oil depot. Russia claims a Ukrainian helicopter raid set fuel tanks ablaze in Belgorod, a Russian city.
World News. Breaking international news and headlines, Sky News.
April 1st, 4:19 America, New York. At least 8 killed and 20 injured in Serbia coal mine incident. At least 8 people have died and 20 were injured in a mine accident in Serbia, the country's state TV has said.
BBC News World.
April 1st, 4:17 America, New York. Will Smith. Police were ready to arrest star during Oscars, producer says. The ceremony's producer describes the conversation between Chris Rock and officers about Will Smith.
Washington Post World.
April 1st, 3:53 America, New York. German prosecutors file charges over major child porn site. German prosecutors say they have filed charges against 4 men over their alleged involvement with a major international platform for child pornography that was taken down last year.
Washington Post World.
April 1st, 3:40 America, New York. Mine accident in central Serbia kills at least 8, injures 20. State Serbian television RTS says an accident in a mine in central Serbia has killed at least 8 people and wounded 20. WorldCBSNews.com.
April 1st, 2:39 America, New York. 2 South Korean Air Force planes collide, killing 3, injuring 1. The KT-1 trainer aircraft crashed into a mountain in the southeastern city of Sachin. The crash's cause wasn't immediately known.
Fox World News.
April 1st, 2:38 America, New York. Zelensky launches massive effort to make Ukrainians whole after Russian destruction. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky has launched a government project to compensate citizens whose real estate has been destroyed in the Russian invasion, the president announced in a speech Friday.
BBC News World.
April 1st, 2:30 America, New York. Ukraine war. Gruesome evidence points to war crimes on road outside Kyiv. The BBC finds the charred remains of civilians on a highway where Russian troops had stationed tanks.
Time.
April 1st, 2:00 America, New York. China's deepening showdown with COVID-19. If Vladimir Putin hadn't ordered an invasion of Ukraine, the headline-making story right now would be the intensifying war between China and COVID-19. In Shanghai, Pop.
New York Times World News.
April 1st, 0:31 America, New York. Your Friday briefing. Fighting rages on in Ukraine. Soldiers and emergency service workers carried bodies in Irpin, Ukraine, after fighting yesterday.
Mirror World News.
April 1st, 0:05 America, New York. Huge blast sends smoke billowing into sky at Russian oil depot near Ukraine border. We'll be bringing you the very latest updates, pictures and video on this breaking news story.
Time.
March 31st, 2357 America, New York. Emmanuel Macron is on track to win re-election. What comes after could be tougher. For a leader given to dramatic flourishes, a jaw-dropping Louvre backdrop for his 2017 election night, an open-topped military ride to his inauguration, French President Emmanuel Macron made quite the statement in early March, when he announced his run for re-election in total silence.
RT World News. March 31, 2328 America, New York. U.S. warns India not to help Russia undermine dollar. Washington's point man on anti-Russia sanctions warned India against deeper cooperation with Moscow. A top U.S. national security official has called on India to scale back its economic and military ties with Russia, warning of consequences for any nation that helps Moscow avoid a recent wave of Western sanctions.
World News. Breaking international news and headlines. Sky News. March 31, 2301 America, New York. Moscow redeploying forces from Georgia to Ukraine as Zelensky warns of battles ahead in Donbass. Moscow is redeploying forces to Ukraine from Russian-backed breakaway regions in Georgia, according to British defense officials. A building damaged by an airstrike in Kramatorsk, Donetsk region, Ukraine,